They hated me because I spoke the truth. Truth. Yeah, women fear the truth. Why do you think they wear makeup? This is one of the things about, like, in Japan, they have, like, the mirror is the symbol of purity for the Japanese. In Shinto, the mirror is, because it's the most honest object that in existence, because it only reflects what it sees. It's completely honest. And so women, they like to masquerade, they put on makeup, they try to pretend like they're someone they're not in order to deceive people. So it's the opposite. Instead of showing who they really are as a mirror to the conscience, instead they do make believe with the makeup and the fake smiles. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. In fact, it's just, interestingly enough, I gotta pause this because this is a good story. I gotta make sure I gotta really tell this one. This is a good one. Thank you, King Greg P. Really appreciate the diamonds, dude. Thank you so much. Big shout. Can we get some 07s in chat for Greg P? Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. What was I saying? Okay. I have a good story for you guys. Okay, so I told you about the lady who came in drunk, right? Well, the reason she came in drunk to my work is because there's a guy, and he was like older. I think he was around like 50. She was a little younger, like 30, and he had given her alcohol, and he kind of had felt sorry for her because she was blind, and so he had reached out to her, and they were kind of friends, and I think he wanted to be more than friends, but she basically kind of just accepted his kindness and kind of, in a certain sense, led him on because, he gave her a rose and did all these nice romantic things that hobos do. As far as hobos go, a rose is a big deal probably for them. These vagabonds, they probably have nothing, so in any case. So there's this budding romance between the blind girl and this older gentleman. And then what was funny was that when she gets drunk, people usually tell the truth when they're drunk. And it was so funny. She was just rambling on about the most ridiculous subjects. But one thing she did say was, she's like, I need someone to hold me. I need someone who would love me. While she was flailing around, acting feral, acting like an animal. And she was why we had to tackle her. Eventually, we had to. I literally had to wrestle her to the ground, like I mentioned. And then her boyfriend of sorts comes in and is like, oh, do you need me? And then she's like, I don't want you. You're old and disgusting. And I don't need someone who's old. I need someone who's young. I need someone who's my age. And basically said that she had used him for all the free stuff he gave her. Used her to go to the park and used her to get out and all that stuff. Basically, it just kind of led him on in order for her to get some benefit out of it. And unfortunately, I think there's many such cases as this. I don't think this is, some rare exception to the ubiquitous culture that has infiltrated Western civilization, Western women. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but certainly, I don't think that was an exception. And that made him sad. And just you could tell he was heartbroken. He was destroyed. He was going through a lot. That Nika was going through a lot. You could tell. I felt so bad for him, man. Because he had come in so happy that day after his date and he'd gotten her drunk, so. I mean, he was a little tipsy himself. He wasn't trying to use her or anything of that sort. But it was like, man, I just look at him like, bro, I'm sorry, homie. I'm like, dude, oh, this is a rough day, man. So yeah, that's what we expect though. We kind of expect that now from three-dimensional types. People who are three-dimensional usually kind of fall into those errors. Whereas we see from anime girls, we see that they're very forgiving. They're very understanding. Oftentimes, it's these very plain-looking characters. Characters oftentimes who aren't even very good-looking, like in Origaru. The guy has the very dark eyes. He looks kind of mean. Hiki, I forget his whole name. Hiki, if you know the anime, he kind of has this very ominous look, but he's a nice guy. He has a pure soul, and that's what draws the anime girls to him. So And they look to the eternal values the anime girls do, which is pretty interesting. Someone told me to check Nick's Twitter. I don't see anything. She's blind to him, and he was blind to her. Very poetic from representative, and 100% true. Yeah, that's so sad. You're too ugly even for the blind girl. That's probably why, he like went out his way. Yeah, Hachiman. They compare Hachiman to the blind, to the case of Hachiman and the case of the blind girl. Very different outcomes. Some guy, he has good intentions. He's just trying to help people. He's wise beyond his years. So it's whatever though. Okay, so